Hi there, it's Lee here for iMineBlocks. Welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going to be sharing with you how to mine Zcash using Ubuntu. So a lot of you guys I know are obviously interested in Windows, so look out for my other video which will be the Windows version of this. But this one is going to be focused on Zcash mining on Ubuntu. So I've got Ubuntu installed via a VirtualBox, so that's Ubuntu basically running within Windows. It doesn't really matter if you're running in a virtual box or if you're using a standalone version of Ubuntu, the process will be the same. So within Ubuntu, what we need to do is actually open up a terminal first. So you press Control, Alt and T, which is the shortcut to open up the terminal window. And then I've actually already saved a text file which includes all the shortcuts, so I can just kind of copy and paste and go through this with you. I'll put all this information in the actual description of this video, so you can just copy and paste as well. So the first part is we need this, which is a dependency that we need to get. We need to get that before we can run the rest of the program. So I'm just going to copy and paste. So it's sudo app-get install qt5-default, and then we just press enter. We need to enter our password. You need to enter yours, of course. And so then what it will do is it will read through the actual dependency and it will download and install as required. I've actually already done this, so for me it doesn't really do very much, but for you guys it will download the whole thing and install it. Pretty straightforward, you won't really need to do anything more than that. So then the next part is getting the actual miner itself. So we're going to clone it from the GitHub repo, which is available to us. So once again, I'm just going to copy and paste. I won't read it all out line by line, but I'll just go through the process with you. So that's downloading that now. Okay, that's completed. We're back to the main line. And then we need to make a new folder for it. Oh, sorry, that's actually not make a new folder, that's actually to go into the actual folder, sorry. So we're changing directory and we're going into the NHEQ miner. Then we need to do make directory, and we need to make the directory is called build. So mkdir space build. That makes the new directory, and then we need to go into that directory. So change directory space build. And now we need to do the next line, which is q make space ... I think I typed all that right. So qmake space ... /nhqminer /nhqminer.pro and enter. So that's done, and then we need to do make. That's make and enter. So if you're not familiar with this, what we've done is we've basically downloaded the raw kind of files, the source files from the GitHub repo. We've made a folder for them. We've made a secondary folder within that where we can actually build the files, and then we've built the files within that folder. So that's just what's happening now. And then after that, we'll basically have a miner that we can actually use in a normal fashion. It'll work just like a regular program. Okay, that's completed now. So I'll just show you the actual file directory. So you can see from the actual home main default folder, you've got this NHEQ miner, and then in there you can see build, which is the one that we created, and then this is the actual miner executable itself. So one of the things that you can do first of all, if you type from the same location, so you're in NHEQ miner /build, that's the folder or the directory that you're currently in. What you can do is /NHEQ miner, and then if you do -b, it'll run a benchmark and it'll just basically give you kind of like a brief performance test. So let's hit enter. will take a minute or two to go through. Bearing in mind this is also a virtual machine, so this kind of Ubuntu box doesn't have full access to the whole computer resources. I've currently set it to 4 cores and I've got an i7 950, so I'm not expecting amazing results from this. And yeah, like I said, this video is really just for demonstration purposes, so don't be so disappointed when you see the actual hash rate is quite low. You guys will probably get a much faster hash rate. Okay, so we've got an actual benchmark there. So it says our speed is 3.2 hashes per second, and like I say, that is just on my sort of basis, I'm pretty sure it'd go much faster with a dedicated box that has access to all of the CPU resources. Okay, so continuing on, the actual miner is built by Nicehash. So what it's actually going to do is it's going to connect to the Nicehash network, and it's going to sell your hashing power in exchange for Bitcoin. So that's how the Nicehash miner works. So what we need to do is, I've actually got this in a sort of a text file, so I'll just break it down each piece bit by bit for you. So to get started with this, you're going to need a Bitcoin address. So this is mine here. If you like this video, of course, feel free to donate, send me some bits. I'd appreciate that. The next part is the actual call to the miner. So you've got, this is the call to the actual program itself. Then you've got -L, and -L stands for location. So it's where the server is actually going to be located. There's a couple of different options. I think there's 4. So I think it's USA, EU, Russia, and I'm not sure, I think there's another one somewhere. You can look into that yourselves. But to make you aware, the only one that I found actually working, I did try the EU one because I'm obviously in the UK, but the only one that actually worked for me at the time of making this video was the USA one. So you guys might just want to try, as I've got it with the location set to USA. The second part is your username. So it's -U, then space, and then you have the first part is your Bitcoin address that you want to use. Then you've got a dot or a period, and then you've got your worker name or nickname. One other thing I would say as well, don't have your worker name too many characters. I'm not too sure, but I think there's an actual character limit on the worker name. So have it 6 or 7 characters, just make something up. So you've got your Bitcoin address, and then you've got your nickname. The next part is obviously another space there. Then you've got -T, and -T stands for the amount of CPU threads. So basically you want to have 1 CPU thread per core on your CPU in most cases. So if you've got a 4-core CPU, you probably want to use 3 threads if you want to like a little bit of extra leeway, or 4 threads to use the full power of your actual CPU. So I've just got it set to threads as 1, and I'll just sort of leave that as it is. So I'm just going to copy this whole line. Hopefully I'll break that down for you. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, just put those in the comments box below, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. So I'm just going to paste that on the actual command line there, and then we're going to press enter, and that will get the miner running. So you can see it connects to the actual server. It said starting miner, starting 1 thread or thread 0, and then it authorizes the worker, gets a new job, and you can see we're sort of off and mining. So the actual speed currently is 0.33 there. Not particularly fast, it was picking up a little bit, 0.07 hashes per second. And it will just go through and it will accept shares and it will submit them to the actual network. Obviously, as time continues, you should get slightly higher performance. The actual overall system performance will sort of kind of balance it out, and you get more of a steady hash rate. Because also, like, the difficulty is changing as well. And if you have higher difficulty, your CPU spends more time basically working on the problem rather than going backwards and forwards collecting jobs. So that's, but that will pick up as you continue on. So you can see it there. And that's that running basically, so not too much more of that. I'll just close it. I'll just show you how it works if I use 4 threads. just to see what the actual performance is on there. So you can see this time we've got multiple threads, so we've got 4 threads. So in theory it should be 4 times as fast. Okay, so you can see it's increasing as it goes on there. And that is it. We are mining Zcash. So the difference between this one and there is other standalone miners, but at the moment they've kind of been coming and going. So the guys that are obviously creating these other miners are working on these. So when a new standalone miner becomes available, I'll be sure to do a video on that. But like I say, at the moment this miner is mining Zcash, but then it's exchanging it directly for Bitcoin. So that might be better for you or worse, but like I say, I will do another video if you directly want to mine Zcash and keep the coins itself and keep those in your wallet or whatnot. So hopefully you found this video useful and you've got started mining Zcash, exchange it for Bitcoin, and hopefully making some profit from it. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed watching or found this information useful. If you have, then please give it a like. If you like this kind of video, then be sure to subscribe, because I upload videos like this on a pretty regular basis now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.